This is a request for a J-Will series. SCP-3514. Object Class Safe. SCP-3514 refers to a 2-kilometer square area in northwestern Iran, corresponding to the location of the 16th century Battle of Chaldiran. SCP-3514's primary anomalous effects activate at approximately each day, and continue until, which matches the time of day during which the battle took place. This activity is henceforth referred to as a SCP-3514-1 event. A -1 event begins with the manifestation of intangible representations of the combatants present at the battle, arranged in a manner believed to match the armies at the beginning of the real battle. These representations are henceforth referred to as SCP-3514-2 instances. The -2 instances then engage in combat, apparently recreating a version of the Battle of Chaldiran. These representations can only physically interact with one another and are unaware or unwilling to respond to any external stimulus. Despite this setup, the course of the battle alters with each -1 event. Although some -1 events follow the course of the battle closely, at other times a radically different outcome occurs, ranging from the death of Shah Ismaili to the complete routing of the Ottoman forces. At times, -2 instances representing apparently supernatural or mythical figures have appeared, including the Shiite figures of Ali and Hossein and Shahnameh, characters such as Rostam, Gordafarid, and Zal. At the end of the -1 event, the -2 instances all abruptly disappear. Some examples of notable variations within the -1 event are detailed below. Note that the first 3 of these occasions took place before the development of practicable devices for recording sound or film, and the reports did not always possess the same level of observational rigor found in more modern reports. Date: 18th of September 1886. Variation taking place: first observed Safavid. Victory, and first time a major deviation from the events of the historical battle were observed. Ismaili's forces attacked the Ottoman forces before the Ottomans set up their chain-link line of cannons in the center, cutting through their lines and killing Selim. 20th of June 1888. An Ottoman victory, and the first observed occasion upon which the -2 instance representing Ismaili was killed. During a charge into the Ottoman lines, an Ottoman bullet appeared to hit Ismaili around the head or neck area, killing him almost instantly and prompting a complete Safavid rout. 1st of April 1913. A great celestial body, in the words of observing researchers, appeared above the battlefield. An extremely tall and well-built -2 instance descended from this object. All the Safavid combatants then prostrated themselves before the instance, chanting the name Ali repeatedly. The -2 instance then appeared to destroy all of the Ottoman combatants. Most of the remainder of the -1 event was taken up with wild and extravagant celebrations on the part of the Safavid combatants and the Ali instance until 1 hour before the end of the event. At this point, the Ali instance abruptly disappeared, and the Safavid combatants wept and beat the ground for the remainder of the event. 23rd of August, 1937. First observed event where the battle did not take place. Instead, the only -2 instances who manifested were the Safavid combatants, who repeatedly attacked and appeared to fatally wound the -2 instance of Shah Ismaili. The Ismaili instance appeared to suffer extreme pain, but did not expire from its wounds. The assailants repeatedly chanted the words, "False Murshid," repeatedly, while doing so. 17th of November, 1965. Second observed event where battle did not take place. Instead, -2 instances representing all 9 Shahs of the Safavid dynasty prior to the fall of Isfahan appeared instead of the combatants. These representations all spoke continuously for the duration of the -1 event, giving what seemed to be accounts of perceived failures which occurred during their lifetimes. Most of the -2 instances were continuously crying ordinary tears, with the exception of the -2 instances representing Ismaili I, Safi I, Abbas II, and Suleiman I, all of whom appeared to be crying red wine. SCP-3514-3 is an intangible representation of an individual claiming to be Shah Ismaili. -3 has the appearance of a man in his mid-30s with red hair and unkempt facial hair, ordinarily dressed in silk robes in a state of disrepair. This instance is separate from the -2 instances resembling Shah Ismaili as part of -1 events. It is classified separately as it appears to demonstrate awareness of external stimuli in addition to being present outside of -1 events. -3 is difficult to converse with, often speaking in incoherent fragments with only occasionally attaining lucidity. -3 claims to be the creator and controller of -1 events. This has not been confirmed, but occasional utterances by -3 demonstrates an awareness of future -1 events. -3 ordinarily speaks in a 16th century dialect of Azeri, but apparently understands Persian, Galaki, and possesses at least some knowledge of classical Arabic. -3 is located on top of the nearby hill of which provides an excellent view of -1 events. Ordinarily, -3 can be found sitting or occasionally pacing within the immediately surrounding area. SCP-3514 first came to the Foundation's attention in 1886, when the Qajar authorities requested aid in the anomaly's containment. Based on the testimony of -3, SCP-3514 is believed to have been created sometime after the death of Shah Ismaili in the early 16th century. On the 22nd of December 1973, the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, ORIA, was alerted to the existence of SCP-3514 and swiftly moved in to contain it. It was discovered through documents stolen during an ORIA excursion into site. Due to the limited Foundation presence in Iran, holding the anomaly against ORIA was considered unfeasible, and the Foundation withdrew upon ORIA's request without incident. Footnotes 1. Although this painting, which can be found on a wall of the Chehel Sultan Palace in Isfahan, is commonly believed to show the Battle of Chaldiran proper, several variations in dress and formation have led researchers to believe that it is, in fact, of an SCP-3514-1 event. The abnormalities in the painting have been publicly written off as stylistic variations and a lack of knowledge of the events on the part of the painter. 2. The first ruler of the Safavid dynasty of Iran and the Safavid leader at the Battle of Chaldiran. 3. The Epic of Kings, a 10th century poem by the Iranian poet Ferdowsi, detailing a mythical version of the history of the Sassanid period. It had become the standard narrative of Iran's history by this period, and was an important part of the Persianate world's culture. 4. It should be noted that the Safavid decision to delay their attack, taken partially due to Ismaili's belief in his own divinity, and partially because of poor advice from his senior generals, is commonly considered the reason for the Safavid failure at the historical battle, as the strength of their cavalry charges was mitigated by the strong Ottoman defensive position and power of their cannon. 5. A murshid is the spiritual leader of a Sufi order, the role Shah Ismaili played to his fanatical Qizilbash followers. 6. It should be noted that those 4 Shahs are believed to have died from excessive drinking. Special Containment Procedures. As of the 22nd of December 1973, SCP-3514 has come under the control of the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, ORIA. Access to and containment of SCP-3514 is therefore unfeasible at present. Due to the low threat level of the anomaly and the apparent competence of Aurea in keeping the anomaly hidden from the general public, the restoration of control over SCP-3514 is considered a low priority. Previous containment procedures. Following a cover-up operation in the late 19th century involving cooperation between the Foundation and the Sublime State of Iran, the exact site of the battlefield of Chaldiran in the public record has been altered. It is now commonly believed to be a site near the village of Gal Ashiki, 10 kilometers away from SCP-3514. The subsequent expungement by personnel of documents within the KJAR archives related to this cover-up has resulted in Aurea being unaware of SCP-3514. Preventing Aurea from learning of SCP-3514 is of paramount importance. A perimeter 50 meters away from SCP-3514 is currently cordoned off with electric fences and has security cameras positioned at regular intervals in order to prevent unauthorized entry. Foundation researchers have set up a rudimentary research base to observe -1 events and interview -3. It is considered inadvisable to set up a full site as this might attract the attention of Aurea.